Alright, Todd here, all things archery and shooting, and we're going to go ahead and do part 2 of my review on this Mandarin Duck 2-piece takedown longbow. We're going to start with a chronograph test. I'm going to do a shootability test, an accuracy test. I'm going to shoot some of these 3D animals I got. Let's see how she shoots. 2 arrow views are going to be these. These here is a 500 grain carbon shaft, and these are my quarter-foot cedar, 31 inch. Both arrows 31 inches. Quarter-foot cedar. With 160 grain point, 5 inch turkey feathers. These come in between 670 and 680 grains. So we're going to shoot both these with a chronograph and see how she performs, okay? All right, well, let's get started and get her down range. Okay, first arrows I'm going to shoot are going to be these carbons. These are 500 grain, put 3 arrows down range, see what we look at. Okay, first arrow, carbon arrow, 183, 500 grains. Second arrow, .178. Third arrow, .181. Okay, next arrows are going to be these hunting weight arrows. These are about 680 grains to 700 grains. See what they shoot at. .166. .164. And .158. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start to shoot how things shoot accurately. I'm going to shoot these carbons first, these 500 grain carbon arrows first. We're aiming for here. I'll move out 20 yards and shoot. And we'll see how accurate she is, and then we'll move over to the heavier hunting weight arrows, about the 680 to 700 grain hunting weight arrows, see how she shoots. I'll be aiming for this target here. I'm going to step off 20 yards and see what we can do with her. Let's go. Good. Okay, as you can see, this particular bow is it's an 1/8 inch cut before center, so not quite a center shot bow. And it actually, you can show here, my group's pretty tight. It's probably 3 inches at 20 yards, but it is over to the left a little bit. That's because of that of the sight window of the bow. Also, these carbons might be the wrong spine for them. See how they're kicking to the right? So let's try the heavier arrows to see if they work better. All right, we'll put 3 more rounds down range. Do that now. Good. Okay, now we're going to be using these heavier 680 grain Port for cedar. These are spine for a 55 to 60 pound bow. This bow's pulling 54 at my draw lengths. These should be just about right for this bow. I think you'll see they'll shoot up much better and much straighter too in the target. They are a little bit slower, but let's see how they shoot. We'll put 3 rounds, same distance, 20 yards, see what we can do. All right, 20 yards. There we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. That's a much better group. That's probably a little less than 3 inches. I got one just outside the bullseye, but the rest are right in there at 20 yards, and they're not kicking away, so it worked out pretty well. It's pretty accurate. Shoot where I'm pointing to. That's nice. As I thought, I just like these heavier spined arrows better. Like I said, these are spined 55 to 60 pounds. These carbon arrows are 500s, so they're spined for around 45 to 50 pounds. So we'll be using a cedar shaft going forward right to the test. I just shoot some pictures of these 3D down, see it handles on these 3D targets, and then we'll step back and talk some more about this bow. So far I'm impressed with it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and step off 20 yards. I'll be shooting at my Glendale big buck target here, and I'm also going to be shooting at my Delta McKenzie Bobcat target as well. So we'll put 3 rounds in this one and 3 rounds in that one and see how we can do. Alright, so I got my, like I said, I got my bow all, this bow, it's shooting really well. I like the way it's shooting. This going to take some getting used to, I think, because I'm not used to shooting a bow that's not cut to center or shooting. And this bow really hasn't been too many arrows, so even though the arrows are shooting pretty well, I'm going to probably retune a set of arrows for this bow. I think it'll shoot a lot much better, but hey, no complaints right now. Alright, let's step off 20 yards, put some 3 arrows each of these targets. Okay, as you can see, I got 2 right in the heart, and I got 1 just out of the heart area, right in the lung area. So, again, 3.5 inch group. Let's switch over to the Bobcat now. we go. Okay, I put 6 arrows in this target. The first 3 I weren't too happy with. They were still pretty good, but about a 4-inch group. The first 3 I shot. These next 3 are more conducive to what I'm shooting. This is less than a 3-inch group. I got 2 in the kill zone, the center bullseye, and 1 just outside the bullseye. So that's less than a 3-inch group at 20 yards. That I can live with. That's respectable. That bow is a shooter, so let me get some. Let's step back, a little more shooting with it, and see how she shoots. Alright. There's actually no stacking on this bow at all. It draws smooth. It's got a little bit of twang to it when you shoot it. That's just no string sounds on it, but it's not that loud actually. It's quite quiet the way it sits. And there's no vibration in the handle at all where it's connected at, where the 2 pieces are joined. So far I'm impressed. Let's go shoot some more and we'll step back, call it a day. Okay, here we go. 20 yards. All right, I just shot 3 arrows down there. Looks like they went where I wanted them to go at. Let's go ahead and take a walk down there and see how they look, okay? Okay, here we go. Let's get this where you guys can see it at. There we go. All right. Again, this is just another 20-yard shot. You can see all the arrows are right in the 3-inch kill circle. So nothing wrong with that at all. All right. Let's do a little bit more shooting and then we'll. All right. Same distance, 20 yards, 3 arrows. All right, here we go. Okay, that looks like an even tighter. Let's go take a walk there and check that one out. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say sorry, guys. It's really hot out here today. Again, I'm sweating like crazy. But anyway, just sweat like that on my face. So we can talk. All right. As you can see, last shot, 3 arrows. Again. 2.5, maybe 3 inches, a little bit low, but not much. Still in where it needs to be at. So yeah, so it shoots well. It shoots where I pointed at, so it's accurate. It's fairly quiet. I'm sure if you watch the car, once I get the string silencers on there, there's actually no actual limb or vibration when it finishes shooting. Like some bows, the Longbows, they vibrate. This one doesn't. There's no hand shock to it. I can't even feel where that these 2 pieces join together at underneath that grip. I will say that grip's a bit slippery though. I'm getting sweaty right now and my hands are getting sweaty, so I had to wipe my hands off several times because that grip is getting a little bit slippery. So I think I'm probably going to add maybe a couple strips of skater tape around there, just a couple strips like here and here. That way I can just get a little more firm grip to it. It's fine, but if I start sweating like I was just now, it was starting to slip in my hand a little bit. So, but other than that, bow's shooting great. Let's go inside, get out of this heat, get something cold to drink, and we'll sit there. I'll give my final thoughts on this bow and my. Okay, so that was the value. We're still good with 10 on the value of the bow. So let's put all these numbers together and see what this bow scores out of a possible high score of 60, okay? So let's see what I got here. I got 7, 36, 44, 54. 54, okay. All right, this bow scores a 54 out of 60. That is by far the highest score that on my new rating scale that's come up. 54 out of 60, okay? All right. All right, everybody, we're back in from that heat from outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk what my final thoughts are on this bow, what I think about it, whether I recommend it or not, and how she shoots. Okay. First thing I want to say about this bow is, remember, I was a couple. I guess if you're watching my channel, I saw a couple reviews back. I started doing a new point system based on 6 factors of a bow in my review. I'm doing that way to help whittle it down so I can compare all the different reviews I do, compare to each other, so I can find which ones are better, which ones are best. I kind of stole this system from Kramer Amons, my buddy over at Kramer Amons. He's got a YouTube channel. Check him out. He's really good. Mine's a little bit different than his, but I did get the idea from him, so I'm going to give a shout out to him because it's his original idea that I sort of took and used for my own. I based the bow on 6 different factors, okay? First factor is quality, fit, and finish. Second factor is specifications. The third is speed. The fourth is shootability. The fifth is how quiet the bow is out of the box, and the sixth is the value of the bow. So let's go ahead and talk about that. I was glad to be out of that Florida heat, like 97 degrees out right now. Got me an ice cold Coca-Cola here, so that's good. So let's get started, okay? Let's talk about the quality, fit, and finish, factor number 1, okay? Remember, my score goes from 1 to 10, where the best possible score is going to be 60, the worst possible score will be 0. And a 1 to 10, 10 being best, 1 being worst. So that's how we do our final score, right? So let's take a look at it. First off, we're going to talk about the quality, fit, and finish. Well, quality, fit, and finish bow is I mean, I got no complaints on it. It's outstanding fit and finish for a $399 price point bow. I mean, the finish is outstanding on it. I mean, the quality for it. I mean, I've seen other bows that cost 2 or 3 times as much. They're just as nice, and I think this bow can hold its own against them. So, craftsmanship of this bow is outstanding. There's no rough edges. Everything matches perfectly. There's no sanding marks on it. Except for that one little imperfection right there. That one little imperfection, which is not a big deal. It's just where maybe the stain didn't go through. I showed that to you in part 1. That's the only imperfection I could find in this bow. All right. So I mean, the bow. I mean, it fits together where the 2 pieces join at. You can't even feel that transition right there where they join at. It comes apart easy, quickly. I mean, so it's been finished really well. So this is the tips on the bow are outstanding. The bow has been, like I said, no complaints really. The only thing I can say is that one thing, that little minor thing there, and I hate to do it, but because of that minor, it's not a perfect bow. I'm going to have to give it a 9. So we're going to base this a 9 out of 10 on quality, fit, and finish, okay? All right, next is going to be the specifications of the bow. Now, the specifications of the bow is when you buy the bow online, how's it presented to you online? Does it talk about the wood? Does it talk about the draw weight, the length, and how closely does that match when you actually get the product into your home and check it out? Well, this bow here on the specifications, I mean, it comes in right at 28 inches at 50 pounds, just what I ordered, so it's perfect there. It doesn't really go into a lot of detail what comes with the bow online, because you have to get this from mandarinduck.net, so it doesn't go quite into detail what's included in the package. So I was kind of surprised that a bow of this quality didn't come with a bowstringer. Even my cheaper bows come with bowstringer. I mean, your black hunter bows, all your black hunter bows for that matter, or what I bought anyways, come with a bowstringer. Even that $60 Cano Cane bow I did a review on a couple months back, that bow came with a really nice bowstringer. So I mean, I understand why there's not one in this box. There should be for a bow of this quality. I mean, And I know you guys say, oh, bowstringers, we shouldn't know. That's the way. Let me tell you something. I thought that too, and I'm kind of old school too. That I used to use step through method, push pull method, until I twisted my first limb doing that. So I don't do that anymore. I use a bowstringer. So it's worth the $10 or $15 for a bowstringer to buy one and use it. So if you don't use one, I recommend using it. Okay. All right. So like I said, the specifications are right on for the speed of for the draw weight of the bow, draw length. So I mean, just like I said, it's just not very clear in the description what comes with the bow, what's included with it, and it doesn't talk anything about the wood in the bow. It just says exotic woods. So I would like to know what kind of woods these are. So I did put a email into the manufacturer this morning. I haven't heard back yet, but as soon as I do, I'll go ahead and put it in the description box for you what actual kind of wood this is. I'd be curious to find out. But all the webpage says is exotic woods. So maybe if they're listening out there, they can make that changes. So because of that, I'm going to have to drop it from, it's also going to be a 9, okay, on specification, just because it doesn't quite go into explanation of what the wood is and what comes with the bow when you ship it. Let's talk about speed, okay? All right, speed of the bow is how fast the bow will cast an arrow that weighs 10 grains per pound of draw weight. Now, 10 grains per pound of draw weight, this is a 54-pound bow, that's a 540 grain arrow. Well, the closer I got 540 grains, is these 528 grains, 530 grain carbon arrows I was shooting out there, okay? The first ones I was shooting, okay? Those arrows are right, I mean, just under 10 grains per pound of draw weight is the closest I get to it, so it'll give you a pretty good idea. So this bow, we're using those carbon arrows, we're coming across my chronograph at about an average of 185 feet per second. Which for a 520 grain arrow, 530 grain arrow, that's pretty respectable. There's nothing wrong with that speed, especially from a longbow. And this is a hybrid longbow, deep reflex, deflex design. I will say I'm a little disappointed in it because my Black Hunter longbow is same draw weight, same everything. You know, and this has 3 laminates of bamboo in it. And my Black Hunter only has 2. And it's a little bit faster. Not a lot, but a little bit faster. It runs about 188 to 190 feet per second. My Black Hunter does with those same arrows. So this bow is about 5 feet a second faster. I mean, is that a big deal? No, not a big deal at all. It's just, I thought it'd be a lot more speed just because of the bamboo, extra laminate of bamboo in here. But apparently, I guess 2 or 3, I guess 2 is going to be faster for some reason. So overall, though, 185 feet on average is pretty respectable. So I can't fault there. But I'm going to have to give it about an 8 though on the speed. Okay, because I do have my Black Hunter. It's a $300 less bow. It's a little bit faster. And I even got that Cano Cane recurve bow that someone talked about, that $60 bow. That bow is really fast. That bow is running like 194 or 95 feet per second. And that was only a 40-pound bow, but it's still based on 10 grains per pound of draw weight. So I think it was casting a 400 grain arrow at 195 feet per second. So that's really good. All right, so 8 on speed. Let's talk about shootability. Now, shootability is how fast you can pick the bow up and shoot and be on target and be accurate with it, okay? Well, this bow right away, I picked it up, I started shooting, you saw on the camera, it's putting it right where I was aiming at. I was shooting a little bit to the left. I think that's because I'm not used to the grip on this or the rest. This is cut 1/8 before center, not quite a true center shot. But I think with a little more tuning of some arrows, a little more practice on my point, it'll get me right back where I need at. But so shootability, I mean, it puts it right in there. They shot real good. I was averaging, what, 3 inches at 20 yards with this bow. Never shot it before, and this was the first arrows through it. So again, once I get some properly tuned arrows for this, and get some more practice with it, I'm sure those groups will tighten up and they'll move over from that left back into the bullseye. So for shootability, I'm going to give it a 9 on shootability because it is very shoot. There's no hand shock at all. There's no vibration after you shoot that I could feel. So I mean, for shootability, it's not a bad little bow. Okay, so I would say 9. That's what I'm going to give it on shootability. All right, let's talk about the quietness of the bow now. Okay, the quietness of the bow is how quiet the bow is out of the box when you get it without doing anything to the bow. All right. This bow is kind of quiet. It's not real quiet, but it's much quieter than some other bows I've had. I mean, with the 500 grain arrows, it was like a little bit louder, but with the 700 grains I shot later on, it was much quieter. Just a little thump, thump, and I promise you that if I put some string silencers on this bow, it'll quiet that right down completely. All right. So for quietness out of the box, I mean, just because it's a little bit loud, if you don't want to use a silencer, because it will slow your bow speed down 2 or 3 feet per second. Some bobbers still choose not to use a silencer. It's going to be about, I'll give the quietness on the bow is at 8, okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the value of the bow. Now, the value of this bow, I got to tell you, It's remember, this bow retails for $399. You get it right off Mandarin.net. They'll ship it right to your house, and it's a mass-produced bow, but it's kind of a semi-custom. They only do a certain number of runs a year, and once that runs over, you end up waiting for it. So I had to originally. When I first was thinking about buying this bow, I was looking at it around Christmas time in early January, and finally decided to pull the trigger on it. The bow was gone; they were sold out. So I got put on a list in January. I'm sorry, I got put on a list in February, sometime late February, early March, sometime that time frame. And they called me or emailed me last Thursday and said the bow's in stock. They're going to be charging my card, and they're going to ship it out to me. So the bow went out Friday. I received it early this morning. So, and this is Thursday. So what's that? 5-6 days. So that's 4 days in transit from China to here. So I mean, that's nice. I like that. So the value of the bow, like I say, is top notch. I'd give it a 10. I mean, the quality, fit and finish of the bow, the craftsmanship. I'll put this bow up against any other bow out there as quality. I mean, I've seen bows cost twice as much, not as nice as this bow. So I'm gonna give it a 10. All right. And let's look at this, add all that up and see where we're at. Okay. All right. Puts us in at 53 out of 60. That is by far the highest score of any bow that I've reviewed so far. 53 out of a possible 60. All right. Will I recommend this bow? Absolutely recommend it to you for people that really can't afford it. Like me, I don't think I can justify spending $1,400 or $1,500 on a custom bow and waiting months for it. I mean, the money alone, my wife would probably kill me over. But this bow, I mean, for $400, under $400, I mean, it's a great value. I'd highly recommend this bow. If you like shooting the longbows, especially the hybrid type, this is a really good value for their money. We're going to do some more review of them. I'm going to be shooting this bow a lot. I think this bow is going to quickly become one of my favorite bows to shoot. I can already feel it, and I'm looking forward to shooting some more with this bow. And maybe later on I'll do like a long-term eval in this bow, see how well it holds together and shoot. All right? So yeah, I definitely recommend the bow. You can't go wrong with it, all right? All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And also click that bell next to that subscribe button. That way I can notify you of upcoming videos. And if you really like this video, please click that like button, give me a thumbs up, and share with your friends and your colleagues and let them know about me. I gotta say, my channel is growing quite rapidly. I'm surprised, especially the last few months. I'm not sure how that's happening because I had this channel for a while, and just the last few months it's really started to explode on me. I think I've got roughly 1,600 subscribers right now, and every day I'm adding 5 or 6 or 10 more, which is really nice. So. And I wouldn't be able to do that without your guys' support, so I want to thank you wholeheartedly for that. It really is humbling to take time out of your day, come in, tune into my channel, and watch me talk about bows and arrows and guns and survival stuff and camping, everything else. So I must keep trying to give you good content and try bringing new stuff to you. Also, I got to make one point clear though, which I got a comment on one of my reviews that wasn't a bad comment, but he was just curious. He was asking if the manufacturer send me these bows at no cost. Well, I had one person do that, one manufacturer do that, sent me a bow at no cost to try it out. But otherwise, everything you've seen I've done, all the arrows, all the bows, everything else you've seen, I paid for this out of my own pocket. So, and I kind of like it better that way. That way I'm not beholden to anybody sending me a free bow where I got to give them a good review. I like to give you an honest review from what I think about the bow and my shootability of the bow and what I think how it's going to perform. And me being able to buy the bow and doing that, it takes that one element out where I want to be biased, which I'm trying to make it a nice, even keel, fair review and everything I do. So, again, what I review and what I like might be something you might not like, or what you like is something I might not like. So this is just my personal thoughts on these bows and these arrows and this other stuff I'm reviewing on. Don't take it to gospel by no means, but hopefully it does help you guys decide whether you want to go out there and try to buy one of these or not, or look into it at least. So I just want to get that out there and make that clear. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, it's been Todd, all things archery and shooting. Until next time, ciao.